So, a very good evening to everyone, and this is our fourth webinar and FB Live series. Welcome everyone from Healthcare at Home, from outside Healthcare at Home, and from our Dive page. Today, I have somebody whom I know for last so many years, Thankam Gomez. I just asked her to forward her profile, और जब मैंने experience पढ़ा, तो मुझे लगा उस एक्सपीरियंस के ऊपर के एज के लोग ही हमारी कंपनी में शायद 10% होंगे, राइट? सो शी कम्स विद अ रिच एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ अराउंड 40 years, and I think she is synonymous with the iconic position of a nursing in India. I remember the first time when I met Thankam was my induction in Fortis Mohali, when she used to adorn that round watch on her apron, which was a trademark for her. And those are the first memories I have of Thankam. And then as a senior resident, I used to see her leading by example, going and talking to all the junior nurses, being the support for the supervisors. From there, I saw Thankam moving to Fortis Vasant Kunj, then in between a stint in New Zealand, then came back. She was the chief of nursing for the whole Fortis group. And I remember that every quarterly, all the nursing heads would collect in one unit, and that was such a big event. And the way nursing started moving under her leadership at that time was something which the whole India had never witnessed. She brought in so many reforms for GDAs, for nurses, leadership, middle leadership, which was phenomenal at that time. And at that time, she went to her calling, which was teaching and training, and she joined Berkeley Health Edu. This was again in 2012. She joined Berkeley as one of the I would say founders and mentors for, I don't know, umpteen number of nurses. And presently she's heading the business for Arohan, right? Where again, she keeps on inspiring people. Nonetheless, she's part of many task forces, government groups, nursing leadership, and has been one of the, I would say, most influential persons in nursing in India. So Thankam, thanks for agreeing to talk to our people, to talk to the nurses. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gaurav. I think that was one of the most flowery introduction anybody could do to my short profile. No, thank you so much. And it's always a pleasure to do something for you, especially because we have known each other for such a long time, 2001 to 2020. My son has grown up from 3 years old to a 22-year-old engineer now. So it looks like as if the time had just flown by. But I remember you as a person very passionate about whatever role that you have done. That is what when I think of you, I can only think, the passion that you put into your work. I think that is the most important aspect for anyone, any professional, or for any role that we do in our life. The passion that we carry with it, then it's not very difficult to bring sincerity into work, So thank you so much for this opportunity. I am always very, very happy to connect with nurses. And the lockdown has made me more tech savvy. So I am comfortable with Zoom and Facebook Live and all these things, which I was trying to learn a little bit before the lockdown. But the lockdown has now forced me that you better get to learn all these things if you want to be still in touch with nurses and continue to give it back. I call it giving back to my profession. Before I say that I want to do something totally different, I don't know whether it will even happen. I'm not even sure of that. But I'm very happy in the space that I am in today. I've done it all, and I'm very happy to be connected wherever the nurses are. It doesn't matter whether they are in hospital or home care. Nurses and patients are always so closely connected. So thank you once again, and very happy to meet the rest of all of you on Facebook and Zoom. And let's see what value can we bring to this 1 hour or half an hour that we are going to spend together. Thank you, Dr. Gaurav.
Yeah, so Thankam, as you know, we are a nursing-led organization, and in our scheme of things, nurses are the heroes. And I must tell you that all our heroes have continued uninterrupted services across India, all locations, despite the lockdown, despite the curfew, and many people who were from non-clinical background or other clinical staff have been instrumental in getting these people to home. Nurses have stayed put with patients for more than 72 hours so that they can carry on uninterrupted services in patients who were on ventilators, patients who need suctioning, patients who really need them and would have died if the nurses were not there. So that was the reason to motivate our people and to understand that what more is happening in the nursing community in the country with this COVID coming in was the whole agenda of getting you in. So Prime Minister Modi, when he wanted to speak to a healthcare provider, the first thing which he did was to call a nurse in Pune, right? And that became such a motivational message. I remember you sent me on WhatsApp also that message. So how do you think that the nursing community is redefining this situation, and this situation is redefining nursing in the context of Indian healthcare?
Okay, so let me first of all, let me congratulate the nurses who are in home care sector, first of all, because we didn't ask for COVID-19. It has come as a very uninvited guest to our country, and we did not know what was happening. And before we knew that, we were all locked down. That means people were not even willing to go to hospital because they're scared. But there are patients who need care. There are patients who are on ventilators. There are patients who need to be, on certain medication, very critical that they should continue to have nursing care. And I think healthcare at home had been on the forefront delivering that care. So first of all, very hearty congratulations to you and the entire team. And as you said very rightly, that nurses alone will not be able to complete that. So coming back to that, let me just say that what COVID-19 has done to nursing. Let me start from there. So then we can connect it to home care very easily. So what happened? 2020 was declared as the Year of the Nurse by WHO. And this is the first time that WHO has ever thought of declaring one whole year to a profession. And they chose nursing. They did not choose any physician, surgeon, nothing like that. So there was a lot of value given to that profession, because WHO and many other research have shown that if we focus on nursing, it can not only change any healthcare providing area, it can change even the public health of the country if enough support and investment is done on nursing. So that's how 2020 was declared as the Year of the Nurse and Midwife. So everybody was planning how to celebrate that. We became part of this the global campaign called the Nursing Now campaign. Everyone knew about that. We knew that things are going to happen and this meeting will happen. Then finally there will be a big event in UK in November, where everybody will say what they have done. But now come December, come January, okay, everybody's happy. Suddenly the COVID-19 decides it will descend, and then it is going to do a totally different story for nursing. Now what happens? Nurses, they don't have to do anything. They have to do nursing to their best possible. Every focus has come back to nursing. I cannot remember in my 40 years of career that any country or any time in the world, without asking, there was a lot of focus on nursing. Now COVID-19 has done that. You never heard of a prime minister calling a nurse. In Kerala, there is an entire program called Namaste Nurses. 1 hour where the health minister is there, they are showcasing what nursing is happening. And I was telling my nurses, भूल जाओ, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ हो, लेकिन कोई भी आजकल COVID-19 की बात करेंगे, वो हमेशा बोलेंगे डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेस एंड अदर पीपल. नर्सेस को कभी वो हटा के नहीं बोलते. पुराना जमाने में क्या था, कुछ कोई भी बोलेंगे ये डॉक्टर्स है. सो नर्सेस का हमेशा कंप्लेंट रहता था, हम इतने काम करते हैं लेकिन हमें कोई रिकग्निशन नहीं देते हैं. अभी पूछने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि हमें रिकग्निशन दिया जा रहा है और हमारे बगैर काम नहीं चलेगा. अब पूरी दुनिया को समझ आ गया है. Yes. So that is what COVID-19 has done to bring nursing to the focus. Now the recognition is there. Everybody is agreeing that this is what nurses are for, and they can make a whole lot of difference. Invest in nursing, train them well. They can make a difference in the mortality, morbidity of COVID-19, the transmission. Whole lot of things are attached to nurses. So that is the silver lining of COVID-19, I would say, because this is crisis time. लेकिन फिर भी एक सिल्वर लाइनिंग है कि हाँ, अभी एक मौका दिया है कि पूरी दुनिया को नर्सिंग के ऊपर फोकस लाइट डाल दिया है. नाउ उसमें हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या होगी कि सिंपल हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं, मौके का फायदा उठाना है. तो मौके का फायदा कैसे उठाएंगे? By only doing our job the best way possible. So during this lockdown, another thing that has happened, suddenly everybody realized कि home care में भी तो कर सकते हैं. Patients hospital नहीं आना चाहते हैं, वो घर पे रहना चाहते हैं, लेकिन कोई मरीज को वो घर पे रह के अपने फैमिली नहीं देखभाल कर सकते. तो आप लोग पहले भी होम केयर दे रहे थे, लेकिन अभी देखा होगा कि अभी ज्यादा फोकस होम केयर के ऊपर दिया जा रहा है. अब ये एक चेंज 100% होने वाला है आने वाले दिनों में. मैं ये नहीं कह सकती कि कोविड-19 कब जाएगा, क्योंकि एक प्रेडिक्शन है मई 1 को गायब होने वाला है कोविड-19. सो आई डोंट बिलीव इन प्रेडिक्शंस, बट आई प्रे दैट इट कम्स ट्रू. Another prediction says May 29 से COVID-19 कम होने वाला है. So we just have to be hopeful that in India that we do not go the European way or the Chinese way. Every individual across the world matters, because अगर एक बंदा गलत करेंगे तो it impacts the entire world. हम बॉर्डर सील करके फॉरएवर तो बैठ नहीं सकते. मैं गुड़गांव में बॉर्डर सील करके फॉरएवर बैठ नहीं सकते. लेकिन ये सब चीज के बावजूद बॉर्डर सील है, आप चल नहीं सकते, चल फिर नहीं सकते, जा नहीं सकते, हॉस्पिटल जा सकते हैं, लेकिन केयर गिवर्स के लिए छूट थे. उस इतने टफ टाइम में भी आप लोग घरों में पहुंचे हैं और इतना 72 आवर्स तक भी किसी ने ड्यूटी किया है. मैं तो यही बोलूंगी फ्रॉम माय हार्ट, congratulations to you. It takes a lot of courage and commitment to do that piece. मुझे अक्सर लगता है सुबह उठने से थोड़ा सा गिल्टी फीलिंग होती है, ये सोच के कि मैं वहां क्यों नहीं हूँ, हॉस्पिटल में क्यों नहीं हूँ, मैं वहां क्यों नहीं कर रही हूँ. देन मेरा बेटे का ये काम है बार बार याद दिलाना, मम्मा यू आर 61, यू आर इन द हाई रिस्क कैटेगरी. तो मैं बोलती forget it, don't remind me so many times about my age, okay? So I feel that each one of us has got a role to play, whether we are in war front or we are at the back. So similarly आप लोग एक different area में है, that is your home care, and that is one place that is a big comfort for the people who are ailing. मान लो कि अगर home care नहीं होते तो क्या होता, वो लोग कहाँ जाते हैं? So I think home care came into practice ahead of time. शायद गॉड ने ही सोचा होगा, उनको पता था कि ये कोविड-19 आने वाला है, हमें नहीं पता था. तो होम केयर थे, इसकी वजह से वो सर्विस देने के लिए उस टाइम यू वर अवेलेबल, राइट? So I would say it is really so great to see all of you that you are so committed and you are going. And when Dr. Gaurav was telling me all the good stories about you people just being there, not refusing to go and take care of a patient, I would say my salute to you. And this is what is nursing is about. I know that I will never recommend anybody to go and commit suicide. कि ये तो नहीं बोलेंगे कि जाके sacrifice कर दो, कि that's not very intelligent. But I am very sure Dr. Gaurav told me that he and his team is taking very good care of you to ensure that you have the right PPEs to go in and look after the patient, and you all have been trained to understand what happens in the community, how you are supposed to ensure that you are not getting infected, neither are you in the risk of transmitting infection from home to somewhere else. These are the challenges I would see that in home care. So
So,
what I
Thankam, yeah. So, Thankam,
yeah.
what we have done as an organization is that we put up very stringent criteria to onboarding patients, where we were screening for travel history, contact history.
Okay.
We arranged for transportation of our nurses in these special circumstances.
Yeah.
Families were very good to make them comfortable. Even if it was 72 hours, it was two nurses there. It was not that one nurse was doing it at stretch. They were
Okay.
sharing their duties, right? We had adequate supply of PPs there. And as of now, we are, as an organization, are covering all our nurses by healthcare insurance, which even government of India is not doing. So
Yes,
which even hospitals are not doing, right? So
I
all
would
our
say
nursing assistants,
congratulations.
yeah, so all nursing assistants, all nurses are being covered for healthcare insurance. And we have also arranged free of cost prophylactic chloroquine for all people. Wherever it will be indicated, it will be given. We already have procured all the stocks. So that
Okay.
way, we are trying to support our nurses, our nursing assistants, all our healthcare providers to the best capability. But coming back to my questions, you have been posting a lot of hardships which the nurses are facing in government hospitals, in private hospitals, amongst the fear of catching infection, less PP, giving it to their family. Can you share some apprehensions which nurses have and how they should get out of those apprehensions in the line of duty?
Definitely. Thank you. That's one of the most burning questions today, and it is not yet fully answered by anyone because the complaints are still continuing to happen. So I would say that the apprehensions are basically the fear of because COVID-19 is highly contagious, infection, and it can go from one person to other person very quickly. And then there is a relatively higher mortality for this one than your regular influenza and other, respiratory infections that we had seen so far. And since the COVID-19 is not a known enemy, so obviously we don't know exactly what is the treatment required for COVID-19. Every day there is some new news coming. So much of information leading to confusion, that is also there. So I would bucket them, the nurses' apprehension into a couple of buckets. One is fear for self. Fear for self can arise primarily. What I understand from the feedback that I get from nurses is that they are not getting the correct PPE for them to go and look after the patients. So the risk of being exposed to even a carrier is very high in hospital because uh, recently there were 2-3 incidents where their own old patients, they did not tell the right history and they turned out to be positive, and then they have to quarantine 70 to 100 healthcare workers. So when they hear such stories they get scared, and the next scare is that through me have I infected my family, have I infected my friends? So these all these things are not totally known. So everybody has got their own guidelines, but there are pretty decent understandable guidelines available. But the most concern, I would say the primary concern, is non availability of PPE, the right PPE for the right procedure, I would put it that way. Because in some organizations they are not giving the right PPE to the right person because there is a hierarchy and somebody will take N95 and walk away. They'll say, I am so and so, I will use N95 to sit in my office also. But that is not fair. N95 is in shortage, so the right people should have the right PPE. So, can I ask a question to you, Dr. Gaurav?
Yeah,
Can I ask
yeah,
a
please.
question? So, I just wonder that when your nurses are going to home, so how do you protect them with what PPE? I mean, what is that you have changed after COVID-19 has come? What are the additional precautions that you are giving to your nurses?
So Thankam, as you said, the nursing community is redefining itself, and home healthcare is itself redefining itself. So
Mhm.
fortunately, at this time, being at home with the patient is safer than being in the hospital. right?
I think you're right.
Right. So it is quite safe. One, because the community transmission has not started yet. The patients who are coming from the hospital have already been tested, and we are pretty sure that as of now, they are COVID negative. The patient of community acquired infection who were at home have not been in touch with many people due to a contact history. We have made stringent rules on saying that the elderly people or the sick people should not be visited by anybody from outside. Even if their own kin are coming from outside, they have been prohibited. And for our own nurses, we have given them adequate PPs, trainings. We have told them how to handle, have more and more hand hygiene practices, how to handle the family, and how to go and behave when they go back their home. How they need to doff their PPs, go back home, have a bath, clean, and then go and mingle with their own family. But having said all that, I think the home environment now has proven to be the safest and the most quarantined as compared to a nurse working in the hospital sector. And that's where my question was, that the all apprehensions and everything which we see are coming from hospitals. All the stories are coming from hospitals. Right?
Yeah, I totally agree. That is another aspect I wanted to highlight, was that because I am in touch with a lot of nurses, so there are a little bit of information about nurses being asked to go home and sit, and they may not get salary. So now during this time, we don't know how long all these prohibitions are going to be in place, because not all the hospitals are taking COVID-19 patients, and hospitals are not full with COVID-19 patients. It is all preparatory. Most of the private hospitals are preparatory. So there are nurses who are probably not having a job and sitting at home also. So when I think of it, I think they should consider home care as an opportunity to take up, because maybe this is an opportunity to structure the home care delivery the best way possible, like in abroad. Even the future, I was reading an article of from New York, where three doctors were discussing what will happen to go after COVID-19, what is going to happen. So one of the point that the doctor has very clearly pointed out was that there will be more care outside hospitals than inside hospitals. So as an industry also, I think home care is going to be, the graph will be going up. I think probably home care is the only place where business went as usual, because from home they will not go anywhere. From hospital they all came back home. So those who need, so I think that is going to be a major paradigm shift once this COVID-19 everything settles down, and things are going to
That's what happened, because in Mumbai, when the hospitals became clusters, we got calls from doctors that please take patients home, and that is what we did, right? Exactly. Similarly, teleconsultation is on the rise because people can't go and access your OPDs, right? And thirdly, as mentioned, I was telling you on that day also, we are getting a lot of demand for chemotherapy, like specialized services at home, where these nurses who are not working in daycare centers, we are inviting them to join our team on part-time basis so that we can serve patients safely at home. So yes, there is a paradigm shift which is happening. So on the same lines, we have a lot of public on our FB Live page, and there is a lot of apprehension in the minds of public on where they end up doing wrong things to the healthcare workers, because they think that when the healthcare workers are coming back to home, to the hostel, to the rental facility, or to the society, they will infect them also. How do you think that a nurse who's living alone from the family in a hostel or in a society with her nuclear family should deal with this situation when somebody points at her and say, oh, you are infected, you are treating patients, which is her job? What should she do in that case?
See, I think unfortunately, this is something that I have read in India only. I have not read about it much in the other Western world. But I think if I imagine myself that if I am going to hospital and if I come back and if someone says that you are infected, then probably politely I need to tell them I am as infected as you.
Correct.
Because no one knows that who is infected. And you should be confident to say, look, sir, we have been trained very well how to protect ourselves, how to look after ourselves, and I can even guide you how you should be taking care of yourself. So we should be a little bit more confident, and of course, if required, if there is a mandate from the government itself that, you know, such behaviors, if somebody will ask somebody to vacate the house, all these things are actually forbidden by law. So you can even ask for you know, police help if something like that is happening, because we have seen that some people were physically manhandled also, where they had to call the police, and we have instances where they were arrested, they were taken into custody. So I think these are things that which were not anticipated. So as it unfolds, one is that we ourselves as healthcare givers, we should be uh, in a commanding position. That's what I would say. We should be very confident. We should not become submissive. We should tell them, okay, look, if we are not there looking after the patient, then who is going to look after the patient? I mean, that's the way I'm going to confront anyone, to say that, look, tomorrow, if you need help, you need nurses and doctors to look after you. So that's why this entire media is about stay home and, you know, help us to serve you better. So just be very well informed about what you are doing, be confident about what you have learned, and show that in your body language. Show that when you are talking to them. I am not saying that you need to fight with them or anything. Just be polite, but be firm. It is, I know it's very easy to say rather than practice, but then as you practice, you will become more confident. Because I have seen this in my entire life, that the more you're confident, unfortunately in my life, because I was like that, everybody thought I am a doctor. That is another myth everybody has, that anybody who is smart and knows things, they have to be a doctor. With all due respect to Dr. Gaurav. But I used to tell them, no, I am not a doctor, I'm a nurse. Then they say, oh. I said, what do you mean by oh? We are also, you know, educated for 4 years and we know what we are doing. So nurses are nurses, they have their role to play, and doctors are doctors, they have their role to play, and we are a team. So
Yeah,
that knowledge and that confidence should, you know, actually go out to, from your body language, you should go, you know, where people should think, you know, before they actually come to you also. This is also very important. I don't know, when I go to market, if I tell somebody ki please, you know, आप social distance थोड़ा पीछे हो जाइए, सुन लेते हैं वो, पता नहीं मेरा एज का है, no idea, but just be confident. You should tell them why social distancing is important.
I think confidence comes with knowledge and awareness. You need to be know what you are saying, and that's why we are investing a lot of into training our nurses into this situation also, so that they are knowledgeable enough, they can communicate properly and come out as very strong warriors at this time. So another thing which I've heard about another thing which I've heard from nurses is, sir, I to want to go, my family is not allowing.
I know. This is very, very common. This is very, very common in hospital also. So I usually think, you know, what would I answer if a nurse tells me that, you know? So I will ask the nurse that what is that your family is not allowing. You're not they are not allowing because COVID-19 will come and catch you, or is there any place in India where COVID-19 will not enter? Your family is as much at risk. For all you know, that you will travel and you will caught in the border and you will be quarantined. And it is going to be like that for some time to come, because you should understand what country is going through, because there are, you know, contained zones, there are hot spots, you know, there are so many other definitions, and people can track you from where you are coming, and you will not be even able to reach your family. They will just quarantine you in some place that you don't even know why you are quarantined. So why do you want to take the risk, you know? And I think as nurses, if you cannot convince your family that this is your job, then I think there is something wrong in your upbringing as a nurse. I will be very, very strong about that. If did you become nurse because your family asked you to do so? Okay, no, fair enough. But then you learned for 3.5, 4 years, what is this job all about? Imagine if this is the case for all the soldiers. When war comes and everybody says, sir, my family says to go back home, I think they'll be shot immediately and somehow and say, get out. No family. So I think that commitment, we are not trained like that. We understand that. But I think You have to convince your family to say, look, I am in this profession. This is my job. I am expected to take care of patients. This is my job. But please be reassured that I am trained. I have everything that is available to protect myself. And this is what, I should be doing. So you should be proud that I am doing that. That mindset is very important. The most easiest thing for me to say is, you don't like to work here, go. After that, don't even come back and ask for a job. I can do that. So when if I'm managing so many nurses, if 10 of them, they come crying, I'll say, okay, put your paper out and don't even bother to come back. And many countries are noting these things. India, which way it will go, I have no idea, because there had been information given to INC also that people who are refusing to work and look after patients, they must be noted. There had been some discussion, INC should give a mandate that they are not expected to run away from their job. And it is right. Because if we run away, then who is going to look after the patients? People who are not trained to look after, then we are going to make the matters even worse. So that is where I would again suggest that though you are trained, you have the knowledge, but I think very, very important that you practice what you learned. Some of the exposures that happened in hospital, the root cause analysis is not yet done. But when I just talk, if PP is all available and still somebody got exposed, what does it say? That there was some break in the practice. And we know that in our peace times, I mean in pre-COVID time also, we had so much of challenge managing hand hygiene, PPEs. Why we did not have patients in isolation before? We had respiratory isolations, we have negative, and every time we had to go after the healthcare workers ki please aap protocol follow karo, don't bring out the things from the room. Now suddenly standard precaution makes sense. It had been there for ages. What is standard precaution? Now suddenly standard precaution makes sense and everybody knows अच्छा कहाँ जाना है, कहाँ सामान रखना है, वहां से उठा के वापस लाना है, नहीं लाना है, क्लीनिंग कैसे करना है, हैंड हाइजीन कैसे करना है. सडनली सबको सबको सब कुछ याद आ गया. क्यों याद आ गया? क्योंकि एकदम से ये कोविड-19 बहुत ही खतरनाक एनिमी बन के सामने खड़ा हुआ है. उनको किसी को नहीं पता है कि कब को वो कौन पकड़ेगा. So I would say is that as nurses, I don't expect anyone to say no to actually serve the job that we have taken it up. Otherwise, the last thing is that you better decide, I don't want to be a nurse. Just leave the profession. I would say like that. I am very, very candid about it because I have told this to my nurses in Fortis also. When they sometimes refuse to do certain things, I'll say, if you are not cut out to be a nurse, just resign and go, become a receptionist, become whatever you want. You become pilot, you become whatever you want. But a pilot cannot be a nurse. But then pilot also knows the job. He will not jump out of the aircraft if something happens. He will stay with the crew, right? He will stay with them to ensure. So every job role you take, captain of the ship, the captain will not run away. When the ship sinks, the captain sinks with the ship. An earlier time, if a captain survives, they used to shoot him to say that how come that you are alive and rest all are dead. So these are all, these are all stories and, things that have happened to say that the commitment towards a profession that we have chosen. I can only say that, that we should not. And if you really think that during this period that you are not able to do that, you should seriously think that is this the profession that I want to be? It is better to give chance to somebody else. And I am very sure as the story of COVID-19 unfolds, every hospital will come to know who are true nurses. And I'm sure that Healthcare at Home will also have a way of knowing that who are these nurses who are always saying, ki, count me in, I am going to look after the patient. Fortunately, you're not facing COVID positive patients at home, but then there is always a risk because you never know. You are taking history, you are making sure everything is safe, but there is still a risk. But you are taking that risk.
It's just matter
Giving
of
an
time.
excuse that my family is not allowing, I would say personally, not acceptable.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of time that when COVID will be at home also. But I think people should remind that it's not only dealing with patients which is going to give you COVID. We have a young population. Young population, 90% of the cases are asymptomatic. If you use PP, if you use all the standard precautions, which as Thankam ने कहा कि पहले भी होते थे, कुछ नया नहीं आया, सिर्फ हमने एनफोर्स करना अभी शुरू किया है, राइट? हम पहले भी हैंड हाइजीन करते थे, हम पहले भी बोलते थे ग्लव्स पहनने हैं, मास्क पहनना है, कैप पहनना है, स्टैंडर्ड प्रिकॉशंस पहले भी थे, अब कोविड ने उसको और रीइंफोर्स कर दिया है. एंड आई मस्ट से थंकम, आई एम वेरी प्राउड ऑफ माय टीम. Yes, there are stories flooding every day. Till today morning we had 45 stories of people going out of the way, right? Which is like out of the around 500 people who are on the field treating, it's almost 10% of exemplary performance. And I'm sure बहुत सारी stories तो मुझ तक पहुंच नहीं रही होंगी, right? And at the same time, yes, you are right, we are also noticing people who would be reluctant to go to the duties or to patients. But I must congratulate all my nursing leadership that they have handled the situation so nicely that we didn't have a single case of uninterrupted operations or a patient not being tended to. In a situation where it is difficult to get a nurse at patient's home, they have been getting consumables, PPEs, equipment, oxygen, everything, and the whole system has been so supportive.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, please.
No, I was just looking if there are any questions. The people who are attending should put in some question in case you have any queries. You should say कि मैम आप ऐसे बोल सकते हो, ऐसे कैसे बोल सकते हो. I mean, that's fine. You should ask those questions. This is very, very important because most of you I don't know personally. So, but you are doing a fantastic job.
There are people who are asking me how to ask questions. Please type in the chat. Nobody is going to pick up any call. Right?
Okay.
Tayyab, I hope you Thankam answered that. How do you motivate your nurses and nursing assistant during these times?
Yes.
That was the question which we took. And,
see, I will just try to answer from their perspective now, how to motivate nurses and attendants. So the story of motivation.
there seems to be some disturbance. आयान अपना वीडियो बंद कर लीजिए. हर प्लीज अपने वीडियो ऑडियो बंद करके रखिए. या लाइट चली गई तंकम के यहाँ, आई थिंक सो. अगेन इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फेलियर. Yeah, you're audible now. There seems to be a power failure at her place. Sinu, Mamta, Sioni, David, Babu, any nurses, any physios, any employees, if you have any questions, please write in the chat box. We'll take it up. Thankam, can you hear me now? Kanika, any questions on Facebook which you want to post here? Do you think we should demand our patient COVID test before onboarding as many times as nurses have fear in mind? You can't legally do that. It's by the prescription of the doctor as per the ICMR guidelines. So we are not in any situation to demand our patients to be tested. Thankam, you are back? So let me, till Thankam comes back, let me tell you what are the indications of testing as of today by ICMR. The indications of testing is if you have a positive travel history, if you have a positive contact history with a confirmed positive case, if you are a case of community acquired pneumonia admitted in a hospital, if you are a symptomatic healthcare worker who has interacted with a COVID positive patient. अगर ये चारों चीजें नहीं हैं, तो then you cannot be tested. The guidelines are changing, but as of now, this is what the guideline is. And these are all tests are through RT-PCR, that is nose and throat swabs. Thankam, are you back? There are no screening methodologies available. The rapid antibody test screening is still not approved by ICMR due to the high false negative ratios. उसमें क्या होगा, आप स्क्रीनिंग करोगे. So how does screening happen? Screening happens कि मुझे आज इन्फेक्शन हुआ, इन्फेक्शन होने के बाद मेरी बॉडी में एंटीबॉडी बनने शुरू हो गए. वो एंटीबॉडी जब बनेंगे तो 7 दिन लगेंगे. 5वें दिन से मुझे सिम्टम्स आने शुरू हो जाएंगे. 7वें दिन अगर मेरी बॉडी में एंटीबॉडी है तो टेस्ट में दिख जाएगा कि एंटीबॉडी है. लेकिन अगर मेरे सिम्टम 10वें दिन आ रहे हैं और मेरे में बॉडी नहीं है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मैं इन्फेक्टेड नहीं हूं. एंड दैट्स व्हाट इज कॉल्ड फॉल्स पॉजिटिव. And that is why government is very, very apprehensive to launch the rapid testing. Thankam, are you back? Yeah, are you back? Okay, power failure. Yeah. Any other questions on testing you want me to take? Many patients don't allow a nurse to enter their house during single dose administration. They give some space outside their house to do the process before administration. How a nurse should handle such patients? So this is not a bad deal, because अगर आप भी घर के अंदर जा रहे हो, you are getting exposed to more people, right? And we want minimal exposure. So if the single visit can be done outside the home in a comfortable environment, it is good. But the environment has to be secure, safe, and comfortable. If that is the case, you can call your senior and refuse it. What measures have been taken by a nursing council who has been affected with corona? Maybe Thanka will be able to ask. Sir, I do not know what has happened to the nursing council. Any more questions which I can take before she logs in? Any scenarios where the nursing supervisors, nursing heads, trainers, they are feeling any heat? Anybody from working at home? Any questions? Physios? Anybody else?
I'm so sorry. I got disconnected today. Seems to be a bad day. Even in my previous webinar, I got disconnected.
No, so you were telling the story of motivation.
Ah, okay. I was going to tell the story of motivation. Motivation has got, I would say, just 3 simple tips during crisis. The leaders must be visible. The leaders must be seen where people are in action. It's very important, because if the frontline people, they feel that, all the leaders are in the comfort of their office and, they are only giving us, verbal support. In crisis, it does not work. You have to be seen on ground. I mean, the people who are immediately supervising them, you have to go in, because one of the things that is being discussed in nursing in hospital is that once in a while, the leader has to wear the PPE and be there with the nurses to say that, I have worn it. I understand what is the difficulty in wearing a PPE. So be visible. Second thing is that timely recognition. When things happen, please appreciate and recognize them without delay. This is very, very important. Don't wait for a particular function or something, I will inform Dr. Gaurav and then Dr. Gaurav will appreciate. Don't wait for that. You do your job. You have to say that, yes, you have done a fantastic job, congratulations, and say thank you to them. This is very, very important to say thank you. So appreciate and say thank you. And the last one, I would say, is the magic word. How can I help you? Just one sentence. Keep asking your nurses or anybody individually, how can I help you? Don't be afraid what can be the answer. Don't be afraid. Sometimes, we leaders are little afraid. मैं पूछ लूं, how can I help you, पता नहीं क्या बोल देंगे, तो बोलेंगे तो मैं कुछ कर पाऊंगा कि कर पाऊंगी, वो एक आशंका रहती है मन में कि पूछो ना पूछो, लेकिन पूछो तो सही. You will be surprised. कुछ नहीं होगा, शायद वो बोलेंगे कि बस 5 मिनट आपसे बात करना है, वो 5 मिनट आपको देना है. सो these three things if you follow, I think your story of motivation will be intact. उसके आसपास फिर आप सोचते रहेंगे कि आज मुझे क्या करना है अपने टीम के लिए, आज मुझे क्या करना है अपने टीम के लिए, वही आपको सोचना है. एंड वो एक जेडी होती है एक लीडर की, कि हाउ डू आई कीप माय टीम मोटिवेटेड. दैट इज योर प्राइमरी जेडी. जो ऊपर बैठे हैं डॉक्टर गौरव, वो सब रिसोर्सेस लेके आएंगे, लोग लेके आएंगे, वो तो उनका काम है. आपके पास लोग मिल गया, उसके बाद आप उनको कैसे जोड़ के रखेंगे, वो आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. तो ये 3 चीजें आप याद रखिएगा. बी विजिबल टू देम, बी अवेलेबल, अप्रिशिएट टाइमली एंड से थैंक यू. एंड फिर उनसे पूछिए कि हाउ कैन आई हेल्प यू. ये 3 चीज आप करके देखिए, बाकी सब अपने आप ही दे विल फॉल इन लाइन.
Thank you so much. So there is another question from our Mumbai nursing head.
Yeah.
What measures have been taken by our nursing council who has been affected with corona? So anything happening at the council level?
अच्छा, तो मैंने कहा ये नर्सिंग काउंसिल को कोरोना कब हो गया?
वो तो बहुत देर पहले से हुआ है.
Nursing council, if you look at the INC, their primary responsibility is about education, accreditation of colleges, this, that. So right now they are conducting training and other things, but we have written to them that they should try to come out with some mandate on what should be the working hours when you are actually working with COVID-19 patient. So now there is a lot of confusion that's happening. There is one set of patients who are COVID positive. Then there is another set of patients who are COVID suspect. And then there are critically ill COVID patients. So all of them have a different kind of a staffing pattern required. So INC was asked about it, but I don't know whether they are going to come out with that. They are aware of all those things, but then there is nothing in writing that we have got from INC. But when it comes to COVID-19, please go and check the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare website. You will find all the guidelines that is required for you to formulate your policies. You will get it from there. And then of course, WHO and CDC. I mean, these are the 3 sites that you can go to. There are very clear guidelines for everything. So you can go and look at that. But INC at the moment, they do not have anything in writing to help us with COVID-19.
Thank you, Thankam. Thanks for your time. It's been almost an hour. I think people have really enjoyed listening to you. Your motivation mantra was the most effective, and the way you could yourself be in that position, being a nurse, it matters a lot for people to listen to you. We also request you that with this changing paradigm, you being one of the topmost leadership in nursing, you will ensure that home healthcare finds its due space in the nursing organization also and in the curriculum of INC also. I know these are long haul things, but we have to start thinking about it because, as you said, COVID is going to change the way healthcare landscape is.
Yes, definitely. I think it is going to happen. And I am also the president of Association of Nurse Executives India. So under that role also, we are going to, look at these things very seriously. And then finally, Annie will come out with some learnings that we are going to put it together. And in that, home care nursing is going to be one. And probably we will recommend for a separate, at least a certificate course around home care nursing for nurses. It is not that if you have worked in hospital, you can automatically work in a home, because there are 2 different, maybe your basic nursing skills remain the same, but the way you do things change a lot because home environment is very different from hospital. So I would say that, I have trained healthcare at home nurses, the first batch I trained. I think one of the things that I repeatedly told them was that, the environment, you are alone. You need to be far more smarter. Your critical thinking has to be in place. Your observation has to be in place, because you don't have somebody to just step out of the room and say, hello दीदी इधर आओ बताओ ये क्या हो गया. ऐसा कोई दीदी नहीं खड़ी है, चेची नहीं खड़ी है, चेटा नहीं खड़ा है, तो खुद ही आपको देखना पड़ता है. तो ये बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट रोल है जो होम केयर में नर्सेस होते हैं. एंड इन वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज इट इज अ वेरी बिग कैरियर फॉर नर्सेस, because it kind of gives flexibility also, and you are only looking after one patient at a time. वो हॉस्पिटल में कोई गारंटी नहीं होता. कोविड हो ना हो, कोविड में अभी भी 1:1 तो वेंटिलेटर का गारंटी होता है, बाकी गारंटी नहीं है. क्योंकि अभी सेंसस कम है तो सब लोग दे रहे हैं, वो दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग. जिस दिन सेंसस बढ़ेंगे तो अगेन इट विल बी अ प्रॉब्लम. सो one of the things, many things are going to change. Even in hospital, the way that nursing is being done also would change. So I would congratulate all the people who are there in home care. You are the forerunners of this industry, and you are going to be the pioneers in that industry. And in future, when things will pick up, and this is a guarantee that after COVID-19 there will be more demand for home care. लोग बाग 10 बार सोचेंगे हॉस्पिटल जाने से पहले. And then the more business that comes in, it becomes more affordable for patients.
Yeah, and
so that's how things are going to change. The more people will work, there will be more business.
Yeah, just to put things into perspective, the Ministry of Home Affairs, the guidelines which have come now for after the second lockdown, clearly mentions home health care as essential services. This is the first time that a ministry notification has clearly said that home health care is an essential services and nobody can stop any transportation or any activity in that. So that's the acknowledgement which I think the government has done in this scenario. Thank you so much for your time, Thankam. Thanks for coming and talking to our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you very much. And I would say God bless you. Stay safe and look after yourself and look after each other. And be proud that you are a nurse.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. We had around for 60 people on Zoom. We had another 100 eyeballs on Facebook Live. And the reach last told me was around 8,700 people had already seen our live telecast. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.